All right, folks, we're here at the New England Pro Wrestling Fan Fest with the one and only Joel.
Well. It is I, the quintessential stud muffin. Joel, the girls devour it like it's corn on the cob. And I am hanging out with my man, Bob Gertner. Keep listening and have yourself an eargasm.
I couldn't say a better introduction myself. Joel, you are an incredible ECW Hall of Famer. It's so great to have you here today. You've been with an incredible company. What was it like with ECW, Joey Styles? I mean, what was that experience like?
It was unbelievable. It was, one of the highlights of my life, and certainly nobody could ever ask to spend their early 20s in any other way than to be traveling and to be on television and just to enjoy being part of a business that I grew up watching and working with people that I grew up admiring and idolizing. So it was a blast.
We get a lot of great people here like Bobby the Brain Heenan. Who were some of your influences getting in professional wrestling? Who were people you idolized?
Yeah, he was one of them. He was definitely one. And all of the managers of the time, Jimmy Hart, Jim Cornette, and Paulie Dangerously, everybody, Johnny Valiant and all of the great talkers from I started studying the 70s. I started watching, I guess, in the early to mid 80s, but tried to go back and learn as much as I could. So all of the great talkers, guys like Howard Finkel. Howard Finkel was such a great ring announcer and made me aspire to be a great ring announcer like him. And I liked also a lot of the guys with the unique kind of freakazoid gimmicks, guys like Kamala, Missing Link, George the Animal Steel, other great talking wrestlers, Road Warriors, guys like Piper, Ventura. So yeah, just everybody. I just loved that wrestling was so varied and there was just so much available in any given. It's a sports entertainment variety show where in any kind of 60 minutes you're getting so many different things that it's kind of it always keeps you guessing and it always keeps you interested.
And you're working one of the most extreme promotions of all time. The fans are extreme. The wrestlers are extreme. The storylines are extreme. Well, what are some of the things you took from Paulie learning backstage, some of the things you've learned from him as a mentor and the company itself?
Well, I mean, similar to, kind of you have to give the people a little bit of everything. It can't all be blood. It can't all be chair shots. It can't all be comedy. It can't all be hot women. It can't all be...
Well, I disagree with you on that one. I mean, it can just be all heartwarming.
It can't all be any one thing. But if you have a little bit of this and a little bit of that and a little bit of the other, it winds up becoming like, a 9-course meal. And that's then everybody, gets a sampling and everybody gets a little bit of everything. And it kind of, keeps it interesting. So I learned. And another thing that Paul's great at that he's always talked about for being great at is he was very good with talent, being able to accentuate people's strengths and hide their weaknesses. So that's another thing that he was always good at. Just basically, I learned kind of so many tricks of the trade from being around him, watching him, learning from him. So, yeah.
We don't have hardcore wrestling anymore. We don't have anything extreme anymore. Wrestling is kind of boring these days. Would you like to see something come back where it was almost like ECW where fans, because we're really getting gypped right now. We don't have what we used to have up in the 90s. No more ECW. No Nitro, but that's not a good example. But Raw, TNA, it's kind of boring compared to ECW. Would you like to see something come back that's similar to ECW?
Wrestling's definitely, I think, it's been in a little bit more of a lull than this, certainly. I think there have been worse times. So I'm kind of, I'm glad that wrestling is still strong enough that, like, events like this can take place and have interest. I think it's definitely been worse. And I think it's, wrestling, but we can never be satisfied, right? We can never be content or complacent. So I understand where you're coming from. Everybody wants wrestling to always be in that golden age. Everybody wants everything to be flourishing, everything to be firing on all cylinders. And I think, as long as I think fans who are fans now, as long as they support the product that's out there, do whatever it is that they can to make it better, and also whatever it is they can to promote it and tell their friends and family about it. I think that's very important.
All right, we want to thank you very much for your time, ladies and gentlemen. He is the one and only, the quintessential stud muffin, Joel Gertner.